I love wrap dresses. They flatter just about any body type, and best of all, you can adjust the waist to as tight or as loose as you want. Hi, I'm Bex. I run sewing classes, clothes upcycling workshops, and clothing sustainability workshops here in Sydney. Today I'm going to talk about how you can transform regular clothes into a wrap dress or a wrap skirt. Let's get started and let's keep great clothes out of landfill. So the first dress that I'm going to talk about is this wrap dress. So I bought this secondhand. It was quite an unusual style, probably a little bit old-fashioned, maybe from the 90s. Beautifully well made, totally lined. Now the reason why I chose this is because it had buttons all the way down the front, so from the top all the way down to the bottom. So the reason why I picked those for wrap dresses and why they're perfect for wrap dresses is because it gives you, all the buttons give you an entry and an exit point. Also, when you undo all of those buttons, it opens the dress up. So by opening the dress up, you can then turn it into a wrap dress. So for this one, you can see I've moved the buttons, moved the top neckline over here, used the buttons that were already there, and I've secured those. So that's changed this neckline. So I've used the buttons that were there, number one, to create this asymmetrical neckline. Also, they go down and they give me privacy as well. So I can keep buttoning them down, but they stop this from flapping open, giving my modesty away, let's say. Okay. So to create the wrap, imagine that the garment is open. So you've unbuttoned it and it's fully open. Then I was lucky enough that this came with a sash. So I could use that as the wrap. So I cut that in half and sewed that to each side of the open garment. Then what that does is it wraps around and forms the wrap skirt, wrap dress. So then the next thing that you need to do is in the waistband, create an opening so that one side of the sash can go through and then meet around. So what I've done is I've created it here. I cut a hole and then I use the buttonhole stitch on my sewing machine just to fix the raw edges of the seams of that hole. So then one of the sashes passes through that end, and if in this instance they go and tie around the back. You could have it, if you had longer, you could tie it at the side or even tie it at the front. And that's pretty much the simplicity of this style, choosing a garment that has those buttons that go all the way down the front. It really couldn't be easier. But importantly, the dress needs to be too big for you. If the dress fits you, you're not going to have enough overlap for it to wrap and provide that modesty. So 3 things that you need to think of when you're doing this style of wrap dress. It's a great starter if it's the first one that you've done. It's a really simple way to start. Number 1, find a dress that's too big for you. Number 2, with buttons all the way down the front. Number 3, a bonus can be is that it comes with a waistband, a sash or some kind of tie or something like that you can use. If not, you could do a contrasting or a complementary color. You could make that yourself. Then the only other thing that you need to do is, or the other things that you need to do is then tie those to either side of the open garment. Create your little cut in the side, secure that so it doesn't fray every time you wash it, and then that's how it passes through, and that's how it ties. In this instance, I made use of the buttons, as I said, that were already there to create this asymmetrical neckline. And that's pretty much it. It couldn't be simpler. So trawl those thrift shops and even your own wardrobe and see if you've got anything that's suitable. Good luck. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. Before we move on to the next project, if you enjoy videos like this one and want more practical tips on altering and upcycling clothes, consider subscribing so my next video pops up automatically in your feed. So here is the next wrap dress converted from a regular dress. This one was a little bit different to the previous one in that it didn't have the buttons all the way down the front. So I'll show a picture of this so you can see what it looked like originally. It was a very big dress. It was 3, maybe 4 sizes too big for me. I can't remember how many sizes, but it was big. So that gave me the extra fabric to be able to cut it down the front and open it up that way. So instead of unbuttoning it like I did with the previous one, I just cut this down. Again, opens up the dress. You've got to have enough fabric so that it wraps, and you'll see with this one, this also came with a tie that was long enough for me to wrap it twice. So it actually goes around twice and then ties at the front. I could tie it at the side, either side, or I could tie it at the back if I wanted to. So then what I did, with it opened right up, then I just sewed a new seam all the way down either side of that cut opening. So then that just secures it and stops it from fraying. Then the same thing again with the sash that was already, it came with it. Then I just sewed that to either side of the opening, cut a hole in the side like I did to the other one so that the tie could go through. And that's it. I left it with a V neck. I think I sort of went for a deeper V. No sleeves. It didn't come with any sleeves, so I didn't have to do that. I don't think I played around with the hem. No, it's still got the original hem. So again, a really, really simple project. And as I said before, the great thing about wrap dresses, I can do this as tight or as loose as I want. So give it a go. Have a look in your cupboard, get to those thrift shops and have a treasure hunt. I'm based in Sydney, but if you can't attend one of my face-to-face workshops, I actually run online sessions via Zoom. You get me for 1 hour one-on-one where I give you personalized advice on how to alter or upcycle your chosen garments. So this last project is a wrap skirt. So I'll put a picture up of what this looked like originally. It was quite a large dress, but it's got a really gorgeous palm frond print on it, and it's a lovely cotton fabric, so nice to sew. I actually picked it up when I was on a thrifting trip up the coast, and I think I paid $1 for it. So the reason why I picked up that dress wasn't necessarily to make a wrap skirt with, but it was a good project to convert into a wrap skirt because it was so big. So it gave me that extra fabric. I also liked the frill at the bottom. I thought that would be quite interesting for a wrap skirt, having straight and then that nice little frill at the bottom. It didn't have anything suitable to make the sash with, so I actually just made the wrap sash myself, just with some ribbon from my stash. I did try to make the sash out of the remaining fabric that I cut off the top of the dress, but there just wasn't enough. If you can do that, I would have preferred to do that, but this is fine. So excuse me for not showing you the top of this. I'll actually put a picture up of the skirt off my body because I don't want to lift up my top and for you all to see my muffin top and my white belly. So hopefully I'll be able to explain this adequately that you understand how I did it. So what I did is I sewed the ribbon or sash around the top and then again cut the hole in the side like I did for the previous two. Finished off the hole with my buttonhole stitch on my sewing machine to stop it from fraying, and then that's where the sash runs through, or the waistband, whatever you want to call it. And then for this one, as I said, it ties at the back. Now, what I think I have to do to finish this off, even though it was quite a large dress, there wasn't enough fabric for it to give me a lot of modesty here. So what I'll probably end up doing is just putting a little press stud here. So if the wind does get this, at least it's going to hold that flap down so that the world's not going to be able to see my knickers. So that's just one thing, but had I had more fabric from a bigger dress, I would have maybe had more to wrap around and this wouldn't have been an issue. That's my only thing that I'd probably want to impart with you guys to consider. So there you have it. Hopefully 2 great ideas on how to make wrap dresses and a wrap skirt from dresses that maybe otherwise might end up in landfill, or that you'd love to give a second life because you like the fabric, but there's just something not right about them. So get started. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got a dress or any other garment that you'd like some alteration or upcycling inspiration for, let me know in the comments and I'll add it to my list for future videos. And if you'd like me to make more videos like this, please throw me a thumbs up. It really helps and encourages me to create more content like this. See you next time.